Let us understand how to use Hdfs interpreter. Hdfs is a Hadoop file system. It's called Hadoop distributed file system that is available as a part of Hadoop. That provides a highly scalable and fault tolerant file system. I can use any ecosystem that provides the Hdfs. For the demo purpose, I am going to use Cloudera, which provides the Hdfs. I have the Cloudera, and within it I have the Hdfs file system. It's nothing but a pure file system which is going to provide me a huge storage capacity where it is distributed across n number of systems. Within Hdfs there is a component called Web Hdfs which provides me access to the Hdfs through the REST protocol. And the Web Hdfs is enabled. That means I can access the Hdfs using the URL. So I can check whether the Web Hdfs is working or not. So the first point of contact for the Hdfs will be the main node. So that is the master within the Hdfs. Don't worry too much about the internal architecture of the Hdfs. So once you ask the Hadoop administrator, I need access to the Hdfs, what they are going to provide is the URL. In case if you say you're going to access through the Web Hdfs, they will provide a URL, something like this. You can check whether the Web Hdfs works or not. You can use the command curl and then the link, and you can provide the option of list what are all the files available within the Hdfs. This can very well be tested using the shell interpreter. Let me create a new notebook. I'm creating a new notebook and I'm going to execute a shell command where I'll say I want to use the curl. For this, the curl package should exist or should be available within the system where I am running the Zeppelin. In case if you are executing it within the Windows, you may have to have the package which understands the curl. So it's able to communicate and it's giving the response. In case if there is anything wrong in terms of the port or the host, I'm going to get an error message. It's not able to connect to the host in that specific port, so it doesn't work. So this is a good URL. Now I can create a new interpreter. I'm going to create a new interpreter. I'll call the name of the interpreter as Hdfs. Generally, all the similarly behaving interpreter, we will be keeping it within a group so that I can share the property of the interpreter and make those interpreters to run in a single process or within a single JVM, and they can share the properties. While discussing about the interpreter, let us discuss about the details on what is this interpreter instantiation and how I am going to share the process. Now I'll keep the group as a part of file. I'm going to make this particular interpreter group and I'm going to provide the configuration. So it would ask for the URL and the user. User I'll keep it as Hdfs. The URL I'll mention it as the Web Hdfs URL. Save. Now I can open the note, and within the note I'm going to enable the interpreter that we have created, otherwise it won't work, and save. So I'm going to provide the interpreter Hdfs and to say ls list all the files available within the Hdfs. It's able to list the files available within the root location of Hdfs. We can very well check this whether it's giving the right response or not by providing a shell command. Within the shell command, since I have configured the Hdfs command will also work. I'm going to list all the files available within the root location of Hdfs. Yes, I do have. For the shell command to work, I need to have the configurations done within the system, and it is already done while doing the Cloudera setup. So basically I am able to access the files available within the Hdfs. Why this is very important? When I'm doing the analysis on huge amount of data, I need to have the data read and bring it into the Zeppelin. Then only I'll be doing the analysis. Assume I'm going to read this particular text file to do the analysis. First I need to have access to the storage, read the data, bring it over here, then I can start with my visualization or any analysis. I can use any language that I want. Either I can use Scala or Java or Python, or I can use any framework like Spark to do the analysis or processing.